Hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome back to Free Feelings. Oh, we'll tell you why we're laughing in a minute, but I'm Jess K.
And I'm Jess T.
This is our first filmed show of Free Feelings. So we're just saying how proud of ourselves we are that we're actually doing this. Special shout out to Jess T, who had littles all day and really
Always.
just you got to get ready and so much more than me. So.
And so much more.
I know. I mean, I worked. You're off because you're a teacher,
Okay.
so I thought maybe that evened it out.
I meant it does. I meant with you already have straight hair. I have to straighten my hair. There's several steps.
Yes.
So I feel give me a little grace.
Yeah,
that.
I know totally. And I didn't say a word when you were 2 hours late. We're so thankful that Jess is here.
Yes.
Doing our video recording.
She's so kind.
Thanks for joining us.
You're so gracious.
Patience is hard for me. So this is
a
me.
virtue,
I actually
the fruit of the spirit. And I was like, wow, you really do want this. Because I was
I had a couple half texts, but nope. Gotta get her here.
I was so late.
Oh.
And I'm not that late. I could be late. We both could be late.
Oh yeah, we're both late, but I mean 2 hours. I kicked the boys out at,
It was just so much effort. I don't want to do this. This is so hard. Okay, hi.
So if you could someone drop a comment saying how much better it is seeing us face to face, or you only watch YouTube, that would be great. So we see this again.
And be who you are.
Yeah.
I should have just come with my curly hair.
I think next time we're just going to be a little more casual. Yeah. So I mean, you always look beautiful, but I don't think our girlfriends care that much.
But we tried.
We are gonna. I knew Jess needed motivation though, so we are gonna go to a nice place later. So it's like a double.
Yeah, a reason
motivation.
to get cute.
Yeah. Oh, so what are we talking about today?
We also were trying to figure out how to say it, but basically how to filter out the toxins in the man water.
Yes.
Or you can say it another way.
We want to find out how to find the wolf in sheep's clothing quicker when dating, especially if you meet someone on the apps. Primarily, right, because they are essentially a stranger. And we just were talking recently about why does it have to take to get to the 10th date, or in a relationship, which has happened to me, which we'll talk about later. How can we filter these guys in a better way? Because it is so much energy and so much time.
Or does it take to the 10th date?
No, it shouldn't.
Exactly.
It shouldn't. But that's what we're going to talk about.
Is it them or is it you that's making it take to the 10th date?
So many factors involved.
How to disrobe the wolf clothing.
How to dismantle it. De-hood the wolf, right? Shine the light on the wolf.
Yes.
Because, So, okay.
Are they duping us or are we letting them dupe us?
I have been guilty of stick your head in the sand, turn a blind eye, especially if a boy is cute, especially if he has a couple boxes checked, and it's we'll see. I'm always the glass half full optimist.
Yes.
Which it doesn't work. Because I feel I was just watching a Mel Robbins, shout out to you, Mel. She was you knew it from the first time you met him, or at least date 2. You knew it.
Yep.
You know it now if you're with someone and you're questioning.
100%.
And I'll ask that question to you. I've dated a little more because we were married for so long. But from the guys that you've kind of talked with since getting a divorce 5 years ago, did you know right away and then you were just right about it later but it didn't work? Because I did.
Yeah, I did. I will still question. I still go through that process. Maybe not to the same extent.
Thinking about the guys?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's for me, I think I'm discounting or I'm mistrusting myself. With you, I think it's a different scenario.
It is.
But first, let's just break down the type of men that are definitely wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because there's some standard templates that I think we all fall for.
Totally. You're in the teacher world. I feel like you always talk about your cute teachers.
Yes. So I think the male teacher altogether is a whole
Like a good example of a good guy or someone you would...
I think it's a good example of a good guy or what you would think is a good guy. They're a teacher. They have a steady job. They must like children.
Like,
they
he's
must
probably
be
at least
good
nice
with children.
Yeah.
He must be nice. You see him interact with children. So you're like, and you know, if you went home to mom with the teacher, mom and dad, they'd be like, oh my gosh, she's a teacher. So I think that's a typical good guy that you would automatically trust.
Like the on paper good guys.
I think the problem is we trust the on paper.
The on paper. Mm-hmm. And we take them at their word, and we take their profile as like gold, right? It's like,
because they don't look like the bad boy.
Yep.
Because that's a type.
Yep. For me, another one was I always loved like seeing a guy interact with his kids. So when he's a good dad, or if his profile is all full of his, you know, gushing about his kids, to me, that solves so much. He's committed. He didn't leave his kids. He has his priorities in order. He's probably willing to accept your kids if you have kids, and just, that always got me. I was a sucker.
Yes.
Those guys.
I'm definitely a sucker for that. Except, do you find it odd when they post their pictures of their kids? How do you feel about that?
I like when they post the pictures of their kids, like all jumping off a boat launch in a lake, and blot out the kids' faces. So at least they're thinking about their privacy, but still showing it.
Okay.
Because I always posted pictures of me and my kids.
You did?
Because I couldn't do selfies, and it's like, and it was really all about the ones that you look the best in. Let's just be real. And for some reason, it was just like always when like a kid was on me. So I'm like, I'll like risk the kidnapping. They're not gonna find me. So
no, but I think when, especially if they have daughters and they post a picture with their daughter, I'm always freaked out.
Oh.
Because I feel like they're not being protective of their daughter. I think it shows that they're not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, random side note. But yes, a guy who appears to be good with children or his own children.
Yeah.
It looks like the marrying kind, like a good dad.
Exactly. Like he's a family. They're just waiting for you to come in the picture and complete the circle.
Yep. Oh, wow.
The thing is, what's funny though is in a past relationship that lasted a long time, he was such a good dad. It actually was a kind of a curse because he idolized them. And when I say worshipped, my friends called them the demigods. The little demigods. And it's like, because they could do no wrong, you could say nothing. If they got home 5 minutes earlier and we were on a date, he would have like an actual heart attack, like, oh my gosh. And these are like teenage age kids. And I realized, I think it was trauma from, they were taken from, so he has 50%. Also a good sign when guys have 50%,
yes,
or almost
I think
50%.
So. I think
but it was so clear to me after a while. It's like, oh, he just needed to get healing from that because he couldn't even deal with 1 second of unpleasantry in the house.
Was he afraid of failing at his 50% and having the ex
hear about it
say something? So is he really worried about his kids, or is he people pleasing or trying to be right?
It was pride too, because he also wanted his house to be the one that they always wanted to go to. He always wanted to do out vacation the ex. He wanted to out birthday. I mean, we're all a little guilty. I don't want to demonize this poor guy, but like, it's just funny where I was like, it went from, that was one of the main things that attracted me to him is like, we met he went to my church. So it's like, the 3 of them, little heads, and like on each side of him with his arms around them, and I'm like, oh, can I come in there? And it just was, so.
Well, but that's the point, you know, the very thing that we think is the blue ribbon standard can actually be camouflaging.
Yeah. Or not enough to cover the other stuff, because that's not why it didn't work.
We think they're a great dad, but they're actually
we're talking about how we get hooked in, and maybe too hyper focused, where it can cause you to ignore other things because you're like this one thing, especially if you're broken in certain areas. Or I feel like I maybe always had little daddy issues. I lost my dad when I was younger. I feel like, do I want a boyfriend or do I just want a home, which is sad. And I feel like that's what I know, but we're having champagne later, so it's okay. But you know, it's fine. That's what therapy's for. I'm like aware. It's like, I just wanted to be part of a unit.
Exactly. Actually, because that is the whole thing. Like, the person who looks for the bad boy or the person who looks for the good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Or the person who's looking for the father figure, the good dad.
Yep.
Or
stability.
the,
I just wanted someone
or
to,
the provider.
take care.
We talked about that. Like, where maybe the guy who has the hedge fund and the good job and the house and the cars, several cars and investments, that looks like such. If your core wound is like, I need a provider, that looks like the dream.
And it's funny because I feel like, yes, there are gold diggers out there. You know, there's also like emotional gold diggers and gold diggers in the other way of men who look to women for other things that aren't financial. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But I do think of there is a misperception if women do care about finances or a stable job or like, could he provide? I think a lot of it is more provision than just materialism.
Yeah, it presents as materialism maybe for the woman, like, maybe, and yes, there could just be a woman that vein.
Of course there is out there. But
she could just want the newest
or
best.
to not work.
But usually wanting the newest best is
deep down at its core comes from, I just want to feel
provided for
stability and security, which is
spoiled.
But to make me feel valued, because if they don't feel valued in their past, so it's not always as like shallow and depraved. I think people think.
It's making me think of this message that I heard from Steve Furtick. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
Elevation
like
Church.
him. Yeah. But one of his messages talked about these two core lacks, and one is I'm not enough, and the other is I don't have enough. You're you're usually
that's
operating
so simple, but that's true, right?
Yeah. And so maybe in dating,
and the thing is, we might not have enough, but when you're in right standing with God, you don't fear that you won't be provided for. You're more like, it's like none of us, you know.
Exactly. Like, where does your help come from? Either way, whether you feel not good enough or you don't have enough, we have the wrong source. Totally. So if we start in either of those two positions and we go into dating, it's easy to fall for any of these versions of guy, which you could be any of these versions of a guy. You could be a teacher and also truly a great man, but I don't know. I think too quickly we fall.
A little suckered, It's funny because I think I was both
for the stereotypes.
I think thought I didn't have enough and thought it wasn't enough.
Yep.
I feel like, oh my gosh, can you be dual? Can you be duplicitous in this? How am I alive? How do I still want to date?
Be a double negative?
Who wants to get me? Where's my friend?
No, girl.
I'm healed now,
girl.
But like in my past.
Yes. Can you be exponentially?
Yes.
Deficient? That's how I feel. It's not even a double. It's an exponent. I'm struggling. Yeah. In the dating world, I'm like, yeah. So anyway, what other kind of men?
All right. So my main one, or like, I just think this is a large population. If you're a woman of faith and you're trying to find a man of faith who's similar shares, I'll just give the example of Christianity because that's what we are, and that's like the prominent religion of America. But it's the guy that has Christian in the box on like a match. Yeah, I mean, you have to check something. Has Christian, or say it's not even that you're app dating. Say it's, for me, like a guy that goes to church regularly. I have found that does not mean anything. That doesn't mean they're a real... Like, people have different definitions of what does it mean to be a Christian. I mean, if you look at the Hebrew word of Christian, it's mini Christ or follower of Christ. So I try to always like, okay, that's the core definition. So it is a big chasm from calls himself a Christian and goes to church and is a follower of Jesus or mini Christ, right? And it's been so disheartening for me in trying to find someone that is a quote unquote real Christian, jaw dropping. And can I give like one crazy example? So I met a guy, a long relationship. We were actually engaged and then I broke it off, thank God. But at my sister's Bible study, and he had gone to our mutual church, which was like a non-denominational church that started out Baptist, but very Bible believing, very fundamental, I would say.
But also very seeker sensitive and open to, so it wasn't strict.
Exactly. It wasn't like deep messaging. Met him at the Bible study, thought this was like, oh my gosh, God dropped this guy practically in my driveway, this is amazing. after, I would say, at least 4 months of dating, he's like, hey, I have to tell you something. I thought he was going to say he had, like, herpes or something. I was like, okay, what's it going to be? I don't believe there's a hell. I believe he believes in reincarnation. Doesn't believe that Jesus is the only way to heaven. After a while, after I really got it out of him, I don't believe he even really thought Jesus is the Son of God. On and on and on and on. And I remember going home, like, I didn't know what to say in the moment. Like, oh, wow. I remember going home and, like, had such anxiety, like, such a lack of peace. But I stayed with him for a year and a half after that.
So you're saying all those things that you listed are in, for people listening, were in direct...
the staples of the Christian faith, like
of how you define that term.
Yes, exactly. So sorry, for people that.
So it was in direct opposition to what you believe, basically.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it would be like you think you're dating a vegan, and you really believe like the philosophy of not eating animals, and then 4 months in, when you're saying I love you already. Hey, I actually love me some pork
chicken wing
every night. I think people just have it right. But the vegan lifestyle is great, and I can see why people do it. So I'll eat vegan when I'm with you. Like, I actually felt duped. I felt like, I don't know. So,
and yet,
that's a good example. And yet, stayed with him.
For how much longer?
For a year and a half longer. Got engaged. And then, but I just didn't have peace. I think women, at least I feel like, the blocking out that we can do and just the shutting down.
It's like a level of denial. We're not actually organizing our thoughts and putting this here to open later. Yeah. We're just straight up like, you didn't say that. Yeah. All I heard was Christian.
Yeah. So that's my big soapbox moment of like, ow, like what, how could I have seen that coming? Which we'll talk about in a minute.
So after 4 months,
we were saying I felt like I was in.
But then you stayed another year and a half.
Yeah.
Ignoring your gut feeling.
At the same time, though, trying, like giving him a book and like watching certain sermons. Like, oh, he just hasn't had enough touch of the Holy Spirit. Or surely God didn't bring the only guy over 40 at this small town church so I can just be devastated. So I was just like, no, God. Whereas, like, that was my signal to go. And it really gets deep because it made me think about my faith. Like, wow, if Jesus is central, if he's the number one thing, I'm going to align myself for the rest of my life and raise my kids under the same house with someone who thinks Jesus is a dude. Like, shame on me. Like, I definitely have been, I'm over it now, but I was so disappointed in myself.
No, I think it goes to show... I don't know.
There's a lot of women that would be like, oh, that would be an absolute deal breaker.
It's a tough topic, but I do think early on in my years of Christianity, if you had said that, I would have been like, oh my gosh, yeah, you should have absolutely known.
Yeah.
And I would have been hard on myself for that too, but I think when you don't live the standard Christian life, or if anything in your life has deviated from that for any reason, because that is actually reality and that's life, I think you start to rethink. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just think you start to, there's room for you to question or doubt or wonder or... there's no more black and white. Once the first thing is no longer black and white, you have to start applying some...
I hate the word deconstruction, but it's a thing.
Yeah, it is. Like... You have to deconstruct how you originally saw it. Or do you? But if you don't, then... I don't know. You should probably just become an old lady with a cat and never date again because some scripture says you can't even be divorced or whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
You can't remarry. Some people believe that. So
I'm not sure. Right. Yeah. So our old thinking on how we saw our Christianity in terms of like the religious part of it should be held separate from really how do we see Jesus? You know what I mean? So being hard on ourselves about like, oh, I should have known right away. I mean, but if we all have a journey. Yeah. So if he thought maybe there's not a hell, and maybe there isn't. You know what I mean? Like, who are we to, like, why would you jump to,
yeah,
like, I can't marry you?
No,
you know?
and that's a good point. That's a whole separate conversation.
Yeah.
My beliefs have evolved in different ways that I never thought would.
Right.
Hell is one of them. It was more honestly more
Yeah.
a stance on Jesus. I could take or leave it. You
Okay.
think there's angels, you don't think there's angels. I actually think crystals are okay. Like, people get weird about crystals. But Jesus.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a polarizing man.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. He's definitely
one side or the other.
Yeah. So, that's something to be said for how we approach dating now that we've been divorced. I think right away when I first got divorced, I was like, okay, there's no other way. I need a straight up Christian. I need a hardcore Christian. I need a replacement husband, and I need it ASAP.
Yeah.
And now I have evolved so much and I've changed so much that I can't even necessarily play the role of what I thought my role was. I can't even run that play anymore. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of basketball.
You've been to the divorce Super Bowl. We are going to move on to a different chapter.
I'm in a whole nother league, literally.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking for is different.
In a good way. Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if you find a real quote-unquote Christian, how many have we known just through friends of friends that have had major character flaws? Like, what am I... Like, have demonstrated behavior that you would never expect for a real quote-unquote Christian. And none of us are perfect. You could definitely look at my life and be like, wow, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do that. So we're all on a journey here. But over courses of decades, walking through friends that eventually have gotten divorced and hearing what goes on in a very Christian quote-unquote marriage.
Yep.
And I say believers. Like, these aren't the guys that just say they go to church to find a nice woman with morals. These are real born-again men who...
Or so they say.
Or so they say. That it's just wild. And I've seen that since I've been divorced. I have dated a couple guys. Now I'm not dating. But one of them, this is the case. All the things, like church, worship. And I think what got me is... He was really angry, and he would say like mean things about strangers, and I feel like, I don't know, so it was just got me thinking, like, and you could think of examples too.
Yeah, well, they say that's actually one of the most things I hear online is he mean to the wait staff, for instance.
Yeah, that's an old one though. Everybody said it. Look how he talks to the waiter.
But I mean, like you're saying, you had a scenario where you overheard him just being mean to someone, like
making fun. He'd be like snide comments where it's like, why?
That's basically the same thing. Like, how does that person affect your life right now? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And I think it's just so much more disheartening and disappointing because you expect the bare minimum. Finding a real quote-unquote Christian and dating them, you think gets rid of a bunch of crap. Like, you think it gets rid of selfishness, meanness, I don't know. Think of something. Just putting people down, or arrogance even. Like, I'm amazed. The arrogance kills me. The lack of humility. How are you worshiping the Lord in your quiet time and reading the Word every day and then going out and just having no care for the needs of others, or just
you're not.
Wild.
You're not. They're not actually either worshiping in truth and spirit, or they're not really reading the Word, because that's the craziest part of Christianity. Like, we started with, what are the good guy cloaks? Like, teacher, good dad, basketball coach,
stable pillar of the community, good job, is on the board of finance.
Yes, a provider, or nonprofit, etc. But those are the very things that people can also put on as the clothing of what it looks like to be good, but really they're a wolf. So they can just as easily cloak themselves in that. So really, it's probably a really high percentage of Christian men. You know what I mean? We're actually looking into a population of even more falsehood in a way, because it's a way of, it's a place of refuge for all the fakers, and it's also a place of truth for the people who are truly seeking.
Yeah.
But whereas if you just went for the straight up bad boy / atheist, at least you know what you're dealing with.
I know, and that's why I have heard that from women that are a lot of them have just been in abusive, verbally kind of hard marriages with Christian men, and they're like, I just want to take a break. And I really do. I do get that. So
it's more disappointing. It's like our last interview with Yvette, and she was like, she couldn't even get on Christian Mingle. Yeah, because it would have been worse.
That's true. Our last guest, she went on the apps and wouldn't do Christian Mingle because she knew she would fall apart if it was just as devastating and terrifying as it was on Match or the other ones. Which I've never heard. I've never heard that either, but that really did.
Wow. Because that's what it's like we keep signing ourselves up for abuse when we're like insisting on this Christian, but we're putting our hopes in this
maybe false
title.
Or just it's hard to know what someone thinks is a Christian. It's such a fluid, it's a cultural term, really. It is. So yes. I just feel like then I would get stuck into when you're trying to make excuses when you find a real Christian who ends up there's no fruit in Christianity. We call I think it's a Matthew verse where you shall know them by their fruit. So you could say everything that you want, but if you're unkind and if you don't demonstrate the characteristics of Jesus, you probably don't know him.
Yes, but then there's a flip side where
you always have a flip side.
There is a flip side, and it's when you are not Christian enough for them.
I was literally just going to go there. No, like, so expound.
Yep. Well, after my divorce, I had already had a friend that was also homeschooling, and he was a man, and he was divorced, and he had been divorced, and we all knew him that way, and he was a teacher, tutor, all these things, and he was great, a great man. So once I was divorced and in the thick of it, I was like, let me reach out to this person. Not in a dating way, but also I really just needed advice or just comfort or to talk to someone. And through talking to him, of course, there's always that tab open in your brain. Like,
always a tab. Half a tab.
Maybe he's the one. Yeah. Or maybe this is God. And as I was talking to him, I was like, and things that he would say that were he was so strict and formal.
Okay.
And he's like, no wife of mine would ever be drinking wine or something. And I was just like, literally in my bed, like, wow. He was like, no wife of mine would be out at the bars.
Oh, I was like, hearing that, I can't even.
Literally in my bed, texting back, I'll meet you this weekend. And so, as much as I really respect him deeply and I admire him, and he would be great. I mean, he was older, so that had its own. But girl, I was like, whew, how am I? I'm the bad girl. Wow. So that's interesting. So there is no. I don't think there's a box that we can check. I think we need to stop trying to check a box. Yeah, the Christian box. I don't know.
Well, okay.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll always date a Christian because I want to. The purpose for me of dating is getting married. So you can have fun whoever you want. I think if you're like you just want to date to have fun, like that's fine. I feel like not everybody. I don't think it's wrong to just date for companionship, or if you're not ready and you want to just get out there.
Yeah,
I don't do that, dating. But people. I don't think that's like morally unconscionable. Okay. But I'll always want to date a Christian because I eventually want to get married. That's the point of dating. So we're But I feel like we should talk. So I just feel like you have to ask them harder questions sooner.
Right.
And like, how do you do that? Like, what does it look like? I feel like, I think by date number 2, you should be asking them like,
okay, right.
So
you're saying, how do you
filter quicker before?
Now that we believed in all the myths, how do we
operate in reality? How do we date
and not fall for that?
Yeah, like I want to be.
So you said, what was that first one? Maybe
I feel like you have to ask them more poignant, telling questions earlier. Like I would always be like, I want to be so fun and captivating, and the first few dates, I just want to make sure that they like me. So it's all just like reacting and responding to them, and just becoming. It's not performative. I didn't say that. Like maybe
keep it real.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I will admit it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's gonna take a while for me to not do that, but
so I do the opposite because I'm a realist and I'm mistrustful and I'm scared. So I have no time. I feel like I got so played like a fiddle in life that I'm so afraid of that happening again that I'm not like believing anything. I'm like, wait, can you go back? What did you just say about?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
it like dating you? I can't even imagine. Jess is like the true crime friend. Jess is like, are you sure he didn't air tag you?
I am.
Are you sure?
I am.
Like, it's
I'm like, oh my
literally
gosh,
like lost
did you
sleep
see
after
that
certain phone
episode
calls.
of whatever?
Yes.
He's totally grooming you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's not married? Are you? When is the last time? I'm like, well, I don't think so. Going through the.
Yep.
So I feel like we all need a little tinge of you, but you have a reason to be mistrustful of men. It's also regaining your ability.
We need to both find a balance there, but I have, in asking the hard questions, I have uncovered the wolf very quickly.
In dating?
Yes. So there have been a couple times where, for instance, one time I went out on a date with this guy and it was so great. He wanted to go to a certain restaurant and then there was a long wait. We drove all the way there and then I was like, we could just go back to my town because we're having like the apple harvest.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, we could walk around a little and then we don't have to really eat anything, but we can then go sit and eat still. So we parked, we walked. It was cute. He was so tall, and that was so nice.
It's a blessing.
Oh, that's so rare. It's just so
rare. We're both 5'9". There's some similarities.
Me too.
So tall, and we love heels. So
tall.
forget it.
Oh, so I was like on his arm.
Yeah, no,
just
that's
like
crack. That's crack to a to a newly divorced tall girl in Connecticut.
Yes, so we were walking through the town. He was just so tall. Let's say it one more time. So then we finally landed on a restaurant and we sat down, and even the way that the restaurant received us, they were just I just felt like.
You feel like a power couple?
Yeah, I just felt very regal. I can't even explain it.
I've had that here and there. You just feel like you both have like a united presence where people like pay attention to you.
So great. And then we sat down and it was like everyone was just, can we get, whatever. It was great. The date was great. He was kind. Oh, he brought me flowers and that was rare.
Guys,
on the first date?
That is rare. I do think that should happen more, but yes, rare.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, check. He was tall.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So then we eat and we're going over stuff. And he said one little comment that was a little off-putting and out of nowhere. That was a little jabby, but whatever. So I keep going with, and the problem with me is I date so little and I'm so wet behind the ears.
You
actually.
are. Gosh. You're like a freshman camp.
Oh my gosh. I'm literally like giddy. I'm embarrassed at myself because I'm like, I'm a whole different person. So I'm all giddy and I'm in the high of it all. And then we go back to the commuter lot and we're sitting in my car and we're talking. And we got on the subject of Christianity, which he had already said he was a Christian. And we get on the subject and we started talking about different things. And he all of a sudden got really took a strong stance about like not really being a Christian, or like he hates religion, or people in his country told him after his father died this and that, and that he's true religion because he sends money back to this country and he started a school.
Oh
and
boy,
all
like
this
bringing
stuff,
up imperialism and
it was like deep, and I was just bringing up regular, like I was just countering, but not getting aggressive, but he was getting angry,
fiery,
aggressive, fiery, but almost
you triggered something.
I triggered something to the point of like his trauma, his father's death, to the point where I almost felt unsafe, and I was just like, but I was also standing my ground because I just couldn't, and then he just up and got out of the car and like slammed the door and got in his car and drove away, and I never spoke to him again. It's like,
okay, but is that a good example of because your personality? Like I probably would have been like, oh wow, like maybe there would have been a second date, but you just stood, you did like,
oh yeah, I wasn't having it, like
you know. So there you go. That just filtered him right out.
Yep. And it was sad. I didn't get get a few more fun dates, but
I know, but the few more fun dates
Yeah.
turn into little 3-month relationships, and the 3 months add up times 4 is a year, and I just hate wasting time. That's my new thing.
Plus your heart, plus your, like, now you're in soul
away from your kids. It's
Yeah.
money getting your nails done. I mean, it affects like almost every aspect of your life. I feel like when you're in a bad relationship or it's out of God's best for you or whatever you want to look at, it's like, I swear, like, it's all connected. I'm like a less great employee. I'm a less great friend. I'm less. It's just bad.
Yeah, so I definitely don't think you should wait to ask the hard questions. Like, you might as well filter them out early instead of believe in the potential of what they could be.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people do.
I think a good question that in the next relationship I'm going to ask is, when did you, whether you call it accepting Jesus or getting saved, or when did you have a moment where it became real for you if you came to know God in your adult life? That's something that might be awkward to ask on like the second date. I don't care anymore. Like, this is...
Or what level of conversion did you experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
Like, is this were you an older an adult?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Like, what's your story?
Yeah.
Or another one for me is just like, oh, like, what's your quiet time look like? In Christian circles, they call quiet time like your prayer time with God every day. And we're all supposed to be reading the Bible and praying. And I'm not saying you're not a Christian if you don't do that every day, but there's usually a cadence. It's usually like, Christianity's supposed to be a lifestyle when it's real for you, because you're spending time with God because you love Him. Like a marriage, you want to see that person, or or else you're not going to.
Although those are the standard things that everyone does. Talk about that they struggle with, like the consistency.
But then it's okay. So if I ask that to a guy, it's like, I'm really struggling. I used to do better X, Y, Z. I wish I had more time. For me, all I care about is a hunger. Does someone have a heart for God? Are you trying? Good enough.
Yeah, because I had a very Christian.
We call them uber Christians. People
I had an uber Christian partner who hardcore prayer, youth group, wanted to be a pastor, has preached, and I think that same good guy mold for a person who's really just lacking in validation or whatever it was. I mean, I can't, that's between him and God and him and a therapist, but like, seems like that was a little bit of sheep's clothing, because that's what they really wanted to be. So they were seeking to be validated in that, but really, if they were validated anywhere, they probably would have gotten filled with what they needed to be filled with. They just needed validation.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people run to Christianity because it's a place where they can be validated if they just follow certain rules.
True. Or that's why they want to go to church, or say they go to church, or why people just go to church, because it makes you look like a good citizen.
Or feel better when you leave. Yeah. And that
doesn't cut it. And that's not
right.
Yeah.
So how would you know the difference? So it's very difficult to
it's nuanced.
Decipher. So I guess I do think if you watch their actions and not their words.
Yes. Even if, say, you're not even trying to get a Christian husband, say you have no faith at all, but you want a good man. We all want a good human, right? Yeah. So you say that a lot. It's watch their actions and not their words. And I totally agree. Talk is so cheap to me. Like, guy could say whatever he wants. I just feel like, what is he doing though? Is he showing up for me? Is he asking about my life? You could tell me I love you all day long, but if you're like, just leave me high and dry when I'm sick, it means nothing, right? But for you, your love language
is words. I think my primary love language is words of affirmation, although I do think any love language.
I've
been so depleted in life that,
some quality time.
Honestly,
it all sounds so good.
You could throw anything at me and I'll probably be like, it'll be like water.
Big enough for all five. All five. Yep. Here we are. But that's your thing.
I do think words of affirmation, so I do get duped so easily by
I think we all get duped talker according to our love language. So I think that has been a thing with you. Always says, and it's like scratching the itch.
Yeah.
Or to me, that'd be like, okay, but
oh my gosh, calling. It's like ear massage.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes, yay.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, that's one day. And then I'm like,
yep.
But you can't even like take me to the movies.
My thing is physical touch, physical affection is mine. And sure enough, I get caught into is if you're holding hands or kissing by day 2 or 3, it's like that's
you're
like
swooning over
I
it.
am.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like an addiction. It's like when the chemistry is good and all the stuff aligns. It's like just the smell of a man.
Interesting.
That'll cover a multitude of red flags. That good smell. Why are we talking about this? This is torture.
No,
but for people out there, our listeners who aren't, not everyone's a Christian who listens to this. It's also like, how do you filter out the bad guys or whatever, for lack of a better term? I think it's avoiding and recognizing the love bombing, which happens a lot. Bombing is when they just like, it's almost too much too soon. Like, oh, want me to pick up your kids for you? And you're like, you met my kids once. Or like, oh, what is it? The future
faking. Yeah.
When they use us and we.
Oh my gosh. Us, we, or the babe. Like,
yes, but I'm a sucker for the babe.
Oh,
babe,
you are?
I can't wait to be someone's babe.
I'm always like, oh, this is so weird.
Or like sweetheart. Or like anything like, oh.
Well, you know
That's
what's interesting? I have one pet name that.
What are you laughing at? I gotta know.
I can't say it.
Okay.
Oh no, these are like, I have these
that
certain.
You only have with your.
No. What I'm saying is like, you know, whatever that scripture is, that it's like, I'll put out the cloak and. Like,
yes.
Whatever that is, like where you're.
Song of Solomon.
Not that you should test God, but I have a name, a thing.
Okay.
That I know if someone calls me this and consistently calls me this, it's
okay.
over.
Don't say it out loud then. Someone's they're gonna run ragged with that name.
Yep.
Oh, that's so sweet though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, if they speak to me that way, I know that maybe that will be the one. I also have a deep scripture in the Bible that you know about that I really feel connected to. And like when I'm talking to a man, and even if he's a Christian man, I will never share that.
I think that's wise.
And not because I think he should know that or
no, that's like intimate.
It's just something so deep between me and God that I feel like unless you're my husband, you aren't gonna get that level of my testimony.
Yes, totally. So, guarding your heart is like a virtue. It's a scripture. So yes. But okay, so back to how do we filter out the fakers? It's really about like the guys that just aren't good. Because like we're all broken and flawed, but like we're talking about like, guys who present a certain way and just aren't quality.
Yeah.
So it's like the love bombing, the future talking,
future faking, love bombing. Ask questions early.
Yeah. So that's so it's recognize and don't get sucked into the love bombing and future faking, and don't like it's not about. I've learned it's like he'll do it to someone else if it's not me. Like he used to make me feel special. I've definitely been loved bombed before. I didn't even know that was a term. It's like a trendy term now, but like 100%. And I didn't know, I had no idea it was happening. I thought it was just, I was so special and it was meant to be. And now it's so cringy looking back. But since then, I've had, I think, a quasi-love bomb situation, and I saw it for what it was. So it's like, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, you live and you learn.
Some poor girl out there could be like getting love bombed right now. You don't know what it is. So we're going to put these links in our show notes of what love bombing is.
Yes.
Signs.
Also, guarding your heart.
Yeah.
And then also one thing that we talked about was, do you introduce your kids? Because someone once told me that your kids, you don't want to overexpose them to just every other person that you're dating, but kids and pets are like, they can
see
sense
through the soul. Yeah. I totally believe that.
They can sense the soul of another person.
Yeah. 100%. I will verify that. I have a middle child who I think is just like kind of clairvoyant, but he's right about every single person. And I've been in good relationships with good men. It just didn't work out for the right reasons why things aren't working out. You're just not the right person. And he's like, he's a good guy. So it's not that he was this devil's advocate or just being like a crazy teenager. He was just, so it's like, but the problem is we're talking about how to identify these guys before we're on date number 10. So I guess if you do it in a way where, you happen to meet up at ice cream or you just are like honest with your kids and like, this is just a guy I'm talking to. Like, and you meet up.
You have to be honest.
Don't have him over dinner.
Whole like, we just happen to be at ice cream at the same time.
I've
so.
I've done it. I know. When they were like 5 and 6.
That happened to my kids with my ex and his. I think that is so manipulative. So don't do that. Because not that it's manipulative, but it's just so.
It's just bad energy.
Yeah, just keep it real. Just keep it real.
Yeah.
Either wait.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to do. Like, I'm not a great communicator with my kids.
Or just wait. Because if you feel like you have to cover it with this whole
100%.
storyline, then probably it's not the best time.
That's so good.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, and again, I can't speak to everything
so
because I haven't done this enough, but
it's true. Yeah. So I don't know how we would do that, but I think you're completely right. If I feel like kids, pets, I literally have had experience with my sweet baby Luna. She's my 4-year-old husky. She's the best dog ever.
She's the best.
I've had experiences with gents where it's like, no, and even the way they treat. Like one time, this guy I was seeing, he was cooking, and she went up to him, and he's like, "Get away, dog." And he wasn't trying to be funny. I don't even think he knew that I was like really just paying attention. Ooh. But it really bothered me. So yeah, you don't have to, I don't know.
Not to mention, he didn't even know her name.
It was just like, that almost made it worse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at least say my name.
Yeah, little did he know. I paid attention to that.
So that's to be determined.
And I want to add one more thing. Yeah. Friends. So I want to give a shout out to, I follow Lisa TerKeurst for a long time, and she's written some great books. She's gone through a divorce. She's remarried now, but I remember listening to a podcast with her on it, and she was laughing at herself, but she fully admitted when she was serious about a man, she flew her best friends in to the part of the country she lived in to meet him, to vet him. Which I thought that was brilliant. It must be nice to just fly your friends in and out. Like,
we will do that one day.
We will. So watch out, guys.
Yes.
Gonna fly them all in.
We'll film it.
Yes. But I was like, and she went on about the reasons for that. She didn't trust her judgment. She knows that she's had issues trusting men and seeing men clearly. And I have so experienced that where sisters or close friends have known from day one and have speaken into and probably suffered some negative consequences for speaking their mind, but they've been right every time.
I won't say what or who, but I said something to you.
You did, and you were right.
To the point where it was so brutal that once you did decide to move forward with the relationship, I'll say that, and things got real, I was in a panic and paranoia, like, oh my gosh, I hope she didn't tell him. I hope she didn't tell him I said that.
That's girl
I was like
code,
living in fear.
I would never tell him. But that's the beauty of, our last episode was on the beauty of power of female friendships. I feel like I would never be insulted until he's your husband. It's like, we're in this together. Like, it's like us against each other.
But I agree. I think that was good that she did that because your friends will be so brutal.
So honest, and they can see
will
things
ask,
that you're fine.
And they will ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
With no
worry
or concern.
Yes. Yeah. And I sometimes think other people in our life see our value and who we really are in an even better light than we see ourselves. Yeah. Sometimes I think we settle for less because we all have different reasons, and I feel like our friends see you for you,
But I do think it has to be trusted friends.
Yeah.
Because there are haters or people who just don't want the best for you or whatever.
Yeah, this is like two good friends. Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope we can do that for each other moving forward for sure. I think we do that for each other.
Yeah.
Because I'll get duped by words and then I'll tell you what happened in the action. And it's like so hard for you to hear. You're in shock. You're like, absolutely not. I'm like, what? It's
just crazy because we could be so clear-minded and so confident and so on our aim game in so many different areas of our life, but in the area of dating, I mean, I think we've all shocked our respective girlfriends. Like, is this the profile that are you seeing?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, and then you're so strongly like, absolutely not. You could do so much better.
But then look at me.
It's not going to happen. No, it's not that. It's then, and then I think I have then thought, well, maybe you are just that optimistic that you're making me overly optimistic, and I'm missing out on this stable person that I should have.
That's so funny. Yeah, I could totally see that, but no.
Okay. Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh.
All right. Wins and fails.
Okay. So for our first time listeners or viewers now,
Yes.
We always share a win and a fail that we experience every week, something that we screwed up, we're trying to improve in our lives, and then a win, because I feel like we don't celebrate the small wins and victories enough in life. So who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, my win is doing this. Obviously, get filming, which I don't want to do. Getting ready to film.
Amen. I prayed so hard too that you'd be able to do this.
Putting on hair and makeup, which I don't do even for a date, practically. But I did it for you, Jess. I did it for you.
I know. I honestly, like, I'm not taking this lightly. Trust me.
But at the same time, it was a total fail because I as usual, which I always, this is gonna go down in history. My mother, I'll never, you know the things your mother says, you know. My mother always says, I bite off more than I can chew. And so, of course,
You're a dreamer.
At like 4, I'm supposed to meet you at 5. I decide to wash and condition my curly afro hair and blow dry, straighten, etc. hair, makeup. Why? And to be here at 5.
Literally, guys, I think I'm going to have to read the text.
So that's the fail.
Based upon the time. It was 5 o'clock, and I said, 5:30 still good? Literally, I'm just gonna, come on, we're gonna go ahead. At the earliest. I just got out of the shower. So I'm like 15 minutes away at the earliest. I couldn't believe, and then so 2 hours later, you guys, 2 hours later,
well,
I actually thought, oh gosh, did something happen with her kids? Did she fall asleep? But I was like, I'm gonna leave her alone, because I thought I just was scared you wouldn't.
I think that this should be a lesson. Okay, this is either the beginning of a journey of
I love when you get philosophical.
beauty for me.
Yes.
Growth. Okay? I also painted my nails
amazing.
and my toes.
Truly.
And shaved.
Like,
okay?
all the things. There was a list. I didn't want to out you, but it was quite a list.
But, you know, that's how, back to highlights.
This is gonna make, this is gonna make you do self-care.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
this
exactly.
Is gonna be a perk.
So this is either like the start of some growth of like take some time for you.
Yeah.
And it will get easier and
like
better.
a new rhythm. It's just gonna be a new rhythm.
Or
oh god.
This is a lesson for you that, you know what? Is it that deep? I probably should have just showed up with my messy bun, and I would have looked the same.
Yeah,
in this camera,
I think we should just have to be casual.
Yeah,
because I think we really are. But we'll see.
We'll
would
figure
love
that
to
out.
know.
So
We'll
that's
get casual next time.
That's my win and fail. And some of you might be looking at me like, "Girl, that's you dressed up or with makeup." But yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I. Yeah. This is what I know. So.
Okay, let's be normal next time then. Okay. So thank you. I'm very proud of you, and many, many answered prayers.
Thank you.
So my win, this is actually a huge win, and it's great because we're talking about dating. So I've recently just decided I'm not even going to entertain any, like, invitations from men folk. When I go to the gym, there's head down. No, sir, I'm not going to look up. I'm not going to smile. I'm just going to, like, really be single.
Oh
yeah. And so I'm in this new zone, and I went to the beach by myself over this past weekend at sunset. We live in Connecticut. The beach is really close. Yes. And I brought my sushi, and I brought my sparkling seltzer. I went on a long run with my worship music. I went swimming in the ocean for a half hour, just floating in the ocean.
Wow.
Got out, watched the sunset by myself. Literally, like, cheers. I cheers God, like, looked up, like,
pray, love,
we did
girl.
this. And it was, it was the best.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that should be homework for everybody.
Yes, definitely.
Lake, beach, ocean, backyard.
Yes. I hike alone all the time. Like, that's my thing. But this is just something about watching the sunset. Because, that's a romantic thing. That kind of date I would have wanted to recreate or do with a guy, and I have so many times. But honestly, it was one of the best dates that I've had in a long time.
Yeah. And I think it's a good first solo date. I know it's not your first, but for people who want to begin to solo date or date themselves or be with God.
Yeah.
I think that's a good version of it because you're not going to a restaurant or this public place. You're going to a public place, but so public that no one knows or cares if you're alone. Like
and I didn't care.
I love that for you.
Thanks. My win and my fails is so dumb, but I cannot monitor the oil level of the stupid oil tank. It was too late to sign up for automatic delivery when I moved here. I forgot why they said, but it's like, Okay. I mean, it's simple enough. You walk downstairs, there's the red gauge. When it gets empty, you call for new oil. I didn't know. I didn't know that you had to do that in the warmer weather because I only thought oil was responsible for
heat.
Okay.
Yeah, what else do you got oil going
Apparently, your hot water for your shower.
Oh, well, yeah, but so then you would need less.
Yeah, you don't let it go bone dry. So my son yesterday was like, Mom, what's that smell? It's like smells like gas. So everyone's like freaking out. Sure enough, it's like coughing up fumes. Like it's basically burning through the junk that you're not supposed to burn through. So now it's unhealthy. And of course, the oil people can't come till tomorrow. So it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's your fail.
Really?
You know,
who else is going to do that?
The oil company. I don't know why.
You always neutralize my fails in such a heartwarming way. You do. You're
I
very
really mean it.
Girl,
like when you bought the house and you said you were switching over the oil into your name.
Okay.
They should have said, okay, would you like to keep the same schedule or whatever? Like, they should know how often this address gets filled.
Yeah.
You know,
quality oil.
Yeah.
Family-owned business
okay,
for the past 30
hashtag,
years. We're sitting here barely taking more
so
showers.
far a 3 out of 5 rating. If you want to up your rating, she needs a free tank of oil. And we want to know the schedule for this address. We can't.
Oh my gosh.
No,
thanks,
but really,
I feel better. Okay. All right.
Or you need to call and say, hey, can you look through the history of this address and tell me, does it need to be filled up every 3 months, every 4 months, and how often in the summer?
Be angelical about the oil fill-ups.
Well, you know.
Than't you.
I'm a teacher.
It's the last time it's going to happen.
You know, educate yourself.
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Happy dating, happy filtering.
Yeah. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Reach out.
Yeah. Leave comments. And we'd love to know who loves video, who loves just Apple and Spotify, or do you watch podcasts on YouTube? So Jess can keep doing this.
Bye.
All right. Bye.